Right, guys, we're back at it with another video on today. This is the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, click the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our installment. Now, guys, you know that every season I do a video, and that video is entitled The State of the Franchise. Now, there's a lot of things that we can talk about the Detroit Lions, especially in the offseason. A lot of people want to know, what type of draft picks the Lions have. And are these guys going to pan out? That is the number one thing for me. I don't care if they're, whatever people think about them. The only thing that you want to know is that these guys are going to impact the season. Guys like Jack Campbell at linebacker, will he be a linebacker that can affect, the Detroit Lions defensively? And then on the offensive side of the ball, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who was picked in the first round. And the Lions have not picked a running back in the first round for a very, very long time. And most teams in the NFL do not take running backs normally in the first round unless they're Saquon Barkley or Bijan Robinson or something of that magnitude. Now, the reason why I want to get right into this video and talk about and take a deep dive at the Detroit Lions is because, I know the hype train is real. And definitely, man, I'm just going to say this for the record. Everybody should be rooting up their team and bigging up their team when it comes to the offseason. You should be wanting to see your team win. Now, with the Detroit Lions, sometimes we just don't know. We don't know what's going to really, really happen with them. Last year, the Lions were the hottest team in football. Those guys closed out the season. The last 10 games, they went 8-2. So now this season, there's a lot of high hope in Detroit for the Lions to not only go to the playoffs, but win the divisional title this year. And yes, the Lions can do it. They got the team to do it. They got the talent to do it. We know what Jared Goff brings to the table already. And we know what Amon-Ra St. Brown brings to the table. But there's still a lot of questions about Jameson Williams and the chemistry that he's going to have with Jared Goff. And is that chemistry going to be there when he gets back? He's going to miss 6 games on the season. And definitely, man, I would have loved to see Jameson Williams go against Kansas City. That would have been something to really, really behold. And then another thing, how are they going to utilize Gibbs? I really want to see how the Lions are going to use him. Not so much as just as a guy that's catching balls out of the backfield, but how are they going to use him in the run game as well? Because he is pretty good running through the tackles and running those through the zone. Running those zone runs and stuff like that. He's pretty good with that. So I want to see how he does as a runner as well, besides just seeing him be a weapon. Now, I know the reason why they drafted him because they wanted him to be able to play some receiver, and they wanted to be able to use him in different and various packages that they can put him in and put him in in areas where he can be a home run threat. And I understand that. Definitely, man, all eyes are going to be on Gibbs. And not only Gibbs, but Montgomery, too. The Lions decided not to bring back Jamal Williams, and they ended up signing David Montgomery. I think they surprised a whole lot of people, man, because I was not thinking that they were going after David Montgomery. I definitely thought that Jamal would be back with the Lions, but things happened. The contract talks didn't work, and things got stalled, and now he is with the Saints. And now David Montgomery is on the Detroit Lions. And I know he can't wait to play the Chicago Bears. But at the same time, you just want to know what type of team you're going to have this season. Going into the season, my biggest thing for the Detroit Lions has always been defensively. We always have an offense, but we never have both at the same time. A great offense and a top 15 defense. That is something that we definitely need. I think the last time the Detroit Lions had a defense like that, I think that's when Sue, C.J. Mosley, Nick Fairley, all of those guys were on the team. I think the Lions had like the number 2 rated defense in the NFL then. But at the same time, you just really, really want to see how everything is going to come together. The draft picks in Broderick Martin, how is he going to be as a player? How is Josh Pascal going to be in his second season? Because you need these guys to develop, and you need these guys to develop fast, especially the younger guys. A lot of younger guys are going to be out on the field. Word is from camp, Brian Branch is doing well. that's something that you want to hear. That's definitely something that you want to hear, that the young rookie is picking up on everything, because he's going to be thrown out there in situations as well. I know that they got CJ Gardner, and I'm glad that he did not go down for the season. You know, he's back in the lineup and things of that nature. But you really want to know how the Detroit Lions defense is going to fare out this season. Is Aiden Hutchinson going to be the man for Detroit this season? And I'm talking about getting at least 10 sacks this year. At least, bare minimum, 10 sacks. Now, if he gets 12, 15, anywhere in there, that's an added bonus. But you're looking for him to get at least 10 sacks. I think that's a fair year for him being in his second season. I want to know, I definitely want to see how the running back duo of Montgomery and Gibbs is going to work out. Both of them should be able to complement each other, because David Montgomery is a running back. He's more of a bruiser. He's more of a guy that breaks tackles and things of that nature. He's the bruiser running back. And then you got the finesse running back of Gibbs, who's more of a home run threat, more of a dangerous guy in the open field. I got a chance to study a lot of film on Gibbs, and the kid is phenomenal, man. I see what Brad Holmes liked in him. He's phenomenal with the ball in his hands. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with either him or Bijan Robinson. You couldn't go wrong with either one of those guys. And I'll go so far as to say, even my man that's from Tulane, and the other kid from Texas A&M, David. The Tulane kid, I think his name was Tajay Spears. I don't think you could have went wrong with grabbing him either. He is a guy that can get it done too, whether catching out of the backfield or also running the football. The dude is electric with the ball in his hands. But initially, I think that the Detroit Lions went after the guy that they felt like was going to be the best guy for them. And hopefully Gibbs can end up being a star in Detroit, because they need this. They need somebody that's going to be a home run threat. They need somebody that's going to be dangerous with the ball in their hand. You know, you've gone many seasons as a fan watching the Detroit Lions not really be dangerous in the backfield. I mean, they got decent running backs, but we haven't had a running back that can really, really scare you. So I'm hoping that Gibbs is that type of running back that's going to scare a lot of teams this year, with his ability to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield, as well as his ability to be able to run the football as well. Those are things that I'm looking for as a fan. And then not only that, I'm looking for the growth of Aiden Hutchinson. Is he going to be a leader on defense? What is he going to bring to the table? And what are the other guys going to bring to the table? What is Josh Pascal going to bring to the table? Can Levi stay healthy? Will Levi be the X factor on that line? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to get out of Charles Harris and James Houston? You know, how much, what type of situations are they going to use James Houston in? I'm just very curious, man, because James Houston was balling last year. And you're thinking like, man, the dude didn't even play that many games, but the sacks that he had was just phenomenal. So how are they going to find a way to get him out on a football field? So those are the things that I'm really, really looking for. Looking forward to this season. How are they going to utilize a lot of the help that they got, whether it be defensively or offensively? You know, what is the rookie Sam Laporta going to bring to the table? I know, Kittles from the San Francisco 49ers is pretty much projecting that Sam Laporta is probably one of the best tight ends out of this draft class. Is that going to be true on the season? Can these guys stay healthy? You know, the Lions have had a lot of struggles as of late with guys getting hurt in the season and not being able to make it through the whole season. So I just want to see how the Lions are going to use the tight ends. You know, how are they going to use guys like Brock Wright when he gets out there, and how they're going to use James Mitchell. Not just Laporta, but how they're going to use the other tight ends as well. What different packages will the Lions bring to the table that's really going to utilize every offensive weapon as far as everything outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown? Because we already know that Amon-Ra is a dog, and we know that he's going to ball out, and he's going to be the most consistent Detroit Lion wide receiver since Golden Tate. He's going to be that type of guy for this Detroit Lions team. So I can't wait to see, the season is right around the corner. I know everybody's riding the hype train. You should ride the hype train. You should believe in your team. But at the same time, it is the Detroit Lions, and they still got to prove it. They still got to prove it. No matter how many people hype them up, they still got to go out there and win football games at the end of the day. I know we got our opinions about the Chicago Bears, and I know we got our opinions about the Green Bay Packers. We don't know what type of football teams they're going to be. I know everybody is saying that these guys they're going to be trash, they're going to be sorry, but you don't really know. This could be a season where Justin Fields breaks out. We don't know. This could be a season where Jordan Love breaks out. It's mysterious because you don't know. You do not know what's going to happen in the season. You don't know. You fully don't really know what type of quarterback Jordan Love is. One thing I can say about Jordan Love is that he got chemistry with those younger guys. The chemistry that Aaron Rodgers did not have with those young guys. He has it. Guys like Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson, he has a chemistry with those guys. And then I want to see how Justin Fields' chemistry is with how he's going to be with DJ Moore and Claypool and the rest of those guys. But I know I'm not worried about those guys at the same time. I'm just saying don't overlook them as well. Sometimes we just, we overlook people and we think that, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But at the same time, the Detroit Lions are the only team that has to prove it because every other team in the division has already won the NFC North title before. We're the only team in the NFC North that's never won. So we got a lot to prove, not only to the fans, but to ourselves, that we can go out there and handle our business from Sunday to Sunday. The Lions are going to have to win games that they don't normally win. If they want to make the postseason, that defense is going to have to be a top 15 defense this season. This is just my opinion on the state of the franchise. Now, everybody else is going to have their opinion on the state of the franchise and what they think about it, but that defense is going to have to be a top 15, and that offense is going to have to be lights out. That means you're going to have to be able to put up points, and you're going to have to be able to stop people. That's something that Detroit is going to have to do. The defense is going to be the key if they want to make it far. The run game is going to be the key if they want to make it far. Being able to see Gibbs and Montgomery or whoever else is the running back, whether it be Reynolds or Muhammad Ibrahim, whoever's in there, Justin Jackson, it don't even matter at this point. But we need for that run game to be successful as well. And then we need for Jared Goff to find chemistry with Jameson Williams, because we know the type of skill set that Jameson Williams has. He will be able to open up and spread those defenses off and take the top off the defense. You want to see that from him. So I'm really waiting to see what these Lions are going to do, because I know everybody has made videos on these guys and said that the Lions are going to be this. Now, I'm going to say I don't like to do predictions, but if I had to pick a number, I'm always going to stay around 10. The Lions should be able to win 10 games this season, 10 or 11 games. The Lions should be able to win the division. It's their division to take because they have everybody returning. But what if they don't take the division? That is something that we need to ponder too. What if they don't? We're going to be mad as fans because we feel like they should be able to take the division, because we feel like everybody else is rebuilding. The Chicago Bears rebuilding. The Green Bay Packers rebuilding. The Minnesota Vikings got rid of everybody. Their star running back in Dalvin Cook got rid of him. Got rid of a lot of key defensive guys. So Minnesota looks a little bit different. Yeah, I know they got the Jetta. They got Jetta, Justin Jefferson, and then they added wide receiver Addison, who was a dog as well, from USC, formerly the Pittsburgh Panthers. So they got some weapons as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how Mathis is going to be with the run game, because they got rid of Dalvin Cook. So I have no idea how he's going to be in the run game. But At the same time, Minnesota is not the same team anymore. So the door is wide open for the Detroit Lions to go in and win the title this year. Everybody's thinking that they're going to win the title, and everybody's hoping that they're going to win the title, but we don't know. We don't know until they start playing these football games, until they start playing, and we can really, really assess the team and see what type of team they are. But if the Lions want to be that team in 2023, they're going to have to be successful defensively. If you can't stop anybody, it doesn't mean a thing on Sundays. You have to be able to stop other teams. And I think if the Lions are able to stop somebody and they're able to make key plays and key stops in the game and their defense steps up and balls out, then you can say that you have something. You can really say that you got something. I want to see the growth of Aiden Hutchinson. I think that he's going to have a phenomenal season. I hope that he can stay injury-free and he can play all 17 games. I want that for everybody on the defensive side of the ball for the Detroit Lions. And if you got to pick up another defensive tackle, do whatever you got to do to bolster this team and get this team ready. Because this is, on paper, this is a playoff team. This is the playoff team on paper. But can they really do it and go out there and beat some of the teams that they would normally beat on Sundays? Can they go out there and get those road victories that they would not? Because basically, if you want to make the playoffs, guess what? You're going to have to rack up 6, 7 wins in a row. You're going to have to lose one game and then double back and win 2 or 3 games. That's how most teams make the postseason. They'll win like 5, 6 games in a row, lose one, go back the next week, win the next 2 or 3 games. That's how you do it. Unless you're a team that's on fire and you just go out there and win every single game and nobody can't stop what you're doing. Because we know that Ben Johnson has one of the best offenses in the National Football League. And we know if that Ben Johnson goes out there and has another phenomenal year, a lot of people are going to come knocking at his door and wanting him to be a head coach. You know, he reminds you of a young Andy Reid with the way he's able to be creative with the offense. He reminds you of Andy Reid. So make sure you guys go and check my video that I did on Ben Johnson talking about him being the next Andy Reid, because I kind of see that in him. He's very creative with the offense, and he came back for a reason, because he wanted to see the Detroit Lions have a successful season. Dan Campbell, you want to see him continue success. You want to see the picks that Brad Holmes have drafted. You want to see these guys be successful. That's what I want to see in 2023. I want to see Jameson Williams ball out when he comes back. I want to see Gibbs be that guy that the Detroit Lions desperately need. I want to see Montgomery add to that running game. I want to see the other receivers besides Amon-Ra St. Brown ball out. I want to see other guys, man. I don't want to see the same guys do the same thing every year. I want to see the help. Where is the help? That's what I'm looking for. So I can't wait to see what these Lions are going to do. I know as a fan, you can't wait to see what they're going to do. You know, what type of player is Jared Goff going to be? Because you know if Jared Goff balls out, the Lions could end up owing this man a lot of money. And we're talking anywhere from, I'm going to just say anywhere from $45 million to probably $55 million a season. Are the Lions willing to pay that if Jared Goff balls out like that? Are they willing to pay that? Because that's a price that some people say, no, don't pay that. Just go ahead and let Hendon Hooker go and do his thing. Or, yeah, we keep Goff and just allow Hooker to get his moment whenever, Goff, may get hurt or something like that. Not wanting to say, or wanting to see Goff get hurt, but just saying things happen. But at the same time, man, the biggest thing about the state of franchise this year is that you want to see the defense get better. If their defense get better, the team is going to be better, and they're going to give you more. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to the Keeping It Raw podcast. I'll be back to you soon with another video. Peace.